Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Talks. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. Sorry there was no live stream yesterday. I just haven't been, I've been up to my eyeballs, and then the panelists were busy yesterday, so I said I'd leave it till today to come on, but I will be joined by someone. We won't be on for too long either because I have another stream to come at 6 o'clock, so I'll be out of here before then. The hate speech laws have been passed in Ireland, so that's what I'll be talking about. Cinnamon, I'm just gonna send you the email there now. Just bear with me, and I'll do that. But we're going to be here to talk about, obviously, the Shooty Gatwa has won a Welsh BAFTA. Not a BAFTA, a Welsh BAFTA. Now, some people are kind of up in arms about it. Some people are saying it's rigged, all of this. Look, the Welsh BAFTAs have kind of always been rigged towards Doctor Who. So this is nothing new. If I'm correct in saying as well, Jodie Whittaker, didn't she win some bogey one as well? So, look, it's nothing new, but some people do want to discuss it, so we will discuss it. But for me, really, I'm not surprised. Look, RTD probably asking the Welsh BAFTAs to give him a leg up because Doctor Who's future right now is uncertain, and that's the bottom line, with nothing officially announced. The show's future has been questioned. People out there claiming that the show's cancelled. Also, we had people out there claiming that it had already been renewed, and we know that's all bullshit. And statements from RTD, contradictory statements as well from RTD, and then BBC editing out Shooty Gatwa's comments have not helped with the speculation. So, the Welsh BAFTAs, obviously, it's award season, as you all know. We'll have the Welsh BAFTAs, obviously, that's gone. The BAFTAs, you'll have the Golden Globes, the Oscars, and all of that. Now, obviously, Golden Globes and Oscars, nothing to do with us if we're Doctor Who fans, of course. But you'll have the National TV Awards as well. So we'll see, will the industry, like they did for Jodie Whittaker, giving her every single bloody award that they could give her. They even made up some new awards just to give her. It'll be very interesting to see now, will they do that with Shooty Gatwa. Now, for me, Shooty is not a bad actor, to be quite honest with you. I know some people think he's terrible. That's your opinion, and that's fine. But for me, the main issue with Doctor Who right now isn't Shooty Gatwa. It's actually the showrunner himself. So it'll be interesting to see. Could you tell us today why you think that Shooty winning something was rigged? Well, while I think he is a good actor, for me personally, was his acting BAFTA award winning? No, it's Doctor Who. He shouldn't have even been nominated. To be quite honest with you, if you're starting in a TV show that's not doing well, right? In fairness, why the lead actor be getting nominated? I don't know why. to be quite honest with you. But I'm not here alone. And as I said, we'll be out here before 6. So I want to bring on my guest who's joining me for this live stream. It's the one and only Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And we'll get his opinion on Ncuti Gatwa's BAFTA, Welsh BAFTA. Sorry, I want to make it clear that it's not the BAFTAs, it's the Welsh BAFTAs. And the Welsh BAFTAs are really, I mean, come here. Even fucking Ricky Gervais slagged off the Welsh BAFTAs in Extras, the TV show that you had years ago. So nobody really takes the Welsh BAFTAs that's fucking serious, to be quite honest with you. But of course, the lefty Doctor Who fans will they latch on to any award that Doctor Who wins, because then it kind of, for them, kind of justifies the media bullshit when they say that the show is absolutely fine and we don't have to worry. But Cinnamon, were you surprised that... Oh, by the way, first of all, hello and welcome. But were you surprised that Ncuti Gatwa won a Welsh BAFTA?
Well, hello to you and hello to everyone in the chat. To answer the question, not particularly, no. It just sort of feels, again, when I first saw it, I was like, well, yeah, that's to be expected. Who else, really? Mainly because I just feel that's kind of how it works. You just got to sort of, you don't really have to do much in this day and age, to be honest. You've just sort of got to be there and exist and like be attached to a big role, and then that'll automatically qualify you for winning an award or something. Like you see all the time, people are winning awards for just simply being in the room. Oh, this so-and-so's won this, or so-and-so's being nominated for this, and it's like, well, why? Well, just because of a title or something. It's a bit like, because he's Doctor Who, and because it's a popular character, and you know he's a main protagonist in it. Well, it still is, you know, a high-profile British show. You know, it's not quite at the heights it once was, maybe a couple of years ago, but nonetheless, Doctor Who is still a big product, franchise, what have you. And because he's the face of that, and you know, it's in Wales again. It's I feel like he should automatically been put up for it, and you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I've liked a lot of his what he's given. I've liked a lot of some of the majority of the stories. I thought season 1 was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was decent, far better than anything Jodie gave us, at least in my opinion. But again, like I said, like it just he's Doctor Who, so it's just an easy, you know, or let's just be nominated because he's Doctor Who, or because he's the Mr. sort of the purse puppy of Hollywood now. He's in everywhere. He's in Masters of the Air. He's a new popular little guy to throw out there, I guess. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, you know, good for him, I suppose. You know, it's really mean much to me. You know, it's a whole.
In fairness, though, the reason why I'm posing this question is, though, even though we both agree, and I think we do both agree that he was better than Jodie Whittaker, right? But the question I'm posing is a BAFTA worthy or a Welsh BAFTA worthy performance? In fairness, like, you know, I seen the other nominees and the people that were nominated. Now, in fairness, I don't watch any of the stuff that they're involved in. But for me, just looking at Doctor Who and the state that it's in right now, and the fact that it hasn't done well in the ratings, no matter how they spin it, yeah, it's done well with the TikTok generation, but the TikTok generation are not going to actually save Doctor Who. Was it BAFTA worthy this performance? And I don't think it was. And this is the whole thing. This is why Doctor Who fans, some have been outraged and some have called it out, because there does seem to be a clear manipulation. Look, if Doctor Who is in trouble and RTD is pulling strings, right, you can understand it to a certain point of view, because he's trying to make the show look good, and if it's winning awards, then Disney might look at it and say, you know what, and maybe Disney don't know the difference between the Welsh BAFTAs and the actual BAFTAs. You know, but the thing about it is, people are going to be suspicious, because even though I do think he was better than Jodie, I don't think that was a BAFTA award-winning performance. I'm sorry, but what planet are you living on that whoever voted, was it a jury? I don't know, but whoever voted for Shooty Gatwa is seriously deluded.
Well, a lot of the time, people will just vote for him because he'll be the biggest, maybe the most name on the thing. You know, and I've looked at these sort of things at these award shows, BAFTAs, Oscars, whatever you have it, you know, National British TV Awards. When you look at all these things that they drop out, and I have a look at the sort of the nominations and who's running against who and who's going to be winning, who's the best drama. I know who's the leading actor or who's the best drama performance or something. It'll be Ncuti Gatwa, maybe 4 other people. There might be like 3 people that I've never heard. There might be, oh, I know who Ncuti is. I know maybe that one other person, but the rest I don't know. So a lot of people just vote tribally, essentially. But you know, like I said, maybe the Welsh standards of their BAFTAs are much lower than the rest. I really don't care. It's just a room full of.
Yeah, President Lemon doesn't agree with us. President Lemon thinks that at least Jody could pull off some serious sin from time to time. Mini Tom, who's trying to store it in the chat, is calling, are you a far right cultist that said Jody was awful? Well, I'm not far right, but I did say Jody was awful. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I did make some comments about China a few years back, which I was right about. But if you want to rehash all of that old nonsense up again, go ahead, knock yourself out. But I won't be acknowledging your pathetic little comments. If you've anything to say about Ncuti Gatwa and the fact that he won a BAFTA, go ahead, knock yourself out. But I'm not. Look, if you're in here to troll, you know, don't waste your time. Okay. We're here to talk about Doctor Who, so we'll continue to talk about Doctor Who. So that's what we're going to do. But President Lemon doesn't agree with us, and I have to say, you know, while I will agree with you to a certain extent that some of the more emotional scenes Jodie Whittaker handled a lot better than Ncuti, I think our overall performance as the Doctor was awful, whereas I think that Ncuti had a lot of... he did have a lot in the toolbox. It's just he wasn't able to utilize it as much he was like it. Because remember, this actor was vetoed by RTD. I think a lot of people forget he didn't want to play the Doctor the way the Doctor is being played right now. Right? He wanted to play a traditional Doctor. He wanted to have a traditional costume. These are all these things that he said publicly. He was vetoed by RTD. So I don't hang all the blame on Ncuti in this case, because I know personally, like a lot of fans out there, that Ncuti wanted to play this properly, straight, right? And I don't mean straight as in bringing the LGBTQ in. I mean, he just wanted to play it straight. He wanted to play it the proper way, right? But he was vetoed by RTD. And then when he did have his moments to shine, I think he did. It's just is sad because we never get out the true potential of Joe of Chibnall. And I think it's the same here with Ncuti Gatwa, right? Now, I do believe RTD got the best out of Christopher Eccleston, and he definitely got the best out of David Tennant in his first era. But look how he brought back David Tennant. He discussed it the way Tennant's Doctor was. They didn't like that version of Tennant's Doctor. So to me, the big problem with Doctor Who right now isn't Ncuti Gatwa, right? I mean, I don't think the performance that he gave was BAFTA award winning, right? But I do think he is being held back quite a lot. It's just a personal opinion anyway. I just feel, you know, the Ncuti gets it a little bit more because of the previous regime, obviously, and because of the way that RTD has gotten to play it, even though we know he wanted to play it exactly the way the Doctor should be played. And that's why I'm gutted for him, because he wanted to play this the proper way, and he was vetoed. He was ruled by RTD. And we've seen what RTD is all about. He just wants to use Doctor Who now to push his own political agenda and his own personal ideology, just like Alex Kurtzman does with Star Trek, right? They use these established franchises to push their own narrative rather than create a show built on character development and great stories. You know what I mean? So, go on, Cinnamon.
Yeah, that's all you want. Isn't it? You want good stories. You want you want good performances. You just want to enjoy the show again. It's been a rough couple of years. It's not been at its best really. Um, Even now, I find myself quite distant. I'll look forward to the second season within reason. I certainly won't fall for RTD's hyperbole anymore. I'm getting a bit sick of all the constant hype because he hypes it up so much, and yeah, that's your job as a promoter. And obviously, going to promote and hype your product, but it's to the degree of building up this mystery of again of who Ruby Sunday's mother is, just for it to be she's just a normal woman. Well, that's just not good. Okay, it might be realistic, but like it's a TV show. Like I get it, it's intentional, it's supposed to be like kind of downplayed, but that doesn't mean it's good though. At least no, I didn't think so, and it seems a lot of people didn't think so because a lot of people on all sides of fandom seemed quite agreed on that. I know many people who said, "Oh yeah, that was the best," or "What an amazing ending that was," or resolution to that story. It's it is all. I kind of seen it in the comment there, but it's also very refreshing when you do have a different take on things. When you see a little bit of normality, and a reminder of what once was. Paul McGann coming out, like John's just said there. Paul McGann coming out and saying, no, the Doctor shouldn't really be doing all that romance, which is kind of ironic because it was the Doctor that started it, but again, it wasn't Paul McGann's fault. He didn't write the script, but again, things like that were commonplace. Everyone used to say that. There were certain rules the Doctor just didn't do, or there's certain things the Doctor never did, or as a writer, you wouldn't make the Doctor do because that was what made the Doctor stand out from a lot of other shows and or other characters from a lot of other shows, because he had this such sort of free spirit kind of personality, yet he lived by such a sort of strict code, moral code, and you never saw him do anything because that was just not the nature of the show. And now again, it's diluted because now in this sort of attempt to be relevant and be like other shows and to copy everything else, you've got the Doctor again acting aggressively, lusting after someone in Rogue, and it's just not Doctor-like. Again, you can do the romance to a point. It has been done before. Because again, I didn't have a problem with it in The Girl in the Fireplace, so I wasn't going to suddenly be up in arms because it was in Rogue, but it was how it was done. That was the issue I had with it. Because even in the Girl in the Fireplace, even though if you look at it from a certain point of view, it does look a bit awkward because the Doctor's supposed to be this 1,000-odd-year-old alien near enough, and yet he's kissing a woman he's known since she was a child. So a bit awkward, but again, when you apply too much real life, anything will fall apart with it. But looking at that, I at least thought the Girl in the Fireplace was handled better because it was all one-sided anyway.
Yeah.
Her side. The Doctor never made it obvious that he liked, that he loved her. He liked her, maybe cared for her as a person as he got to sort of see her grow up as you would. I mean, that's if you saw someone grow from a child to and then to see their death, I think that would have some effect on you.
Right, I've removed just to tell you, so I've removed Mini Tom because he obviously was a troll because then he started trying to promote a different YouTube channel. Listen, I'm just going to say this once more. I know that there's someone out there that's upset with me, and all of a sudden there seems to be trolls coming into our chat and stuff like that. The way it's going to be handled is like you'll be given the benefit of the doubt at first, but if you continue to harass or you continue to throw up some stupid statements, you'll be removed ASAP. Also, I'm going to make a couple of people in the chat that I see there moderator. So I want to give Matt a mod ship, and I want to give Garbage a mod ship, if that's okay. Let me know in the chat, lads, if it's all right to make you as mods. Look, the bottom line is this, right? I'm here to talk about Doctor Who. If you have a problem with the things that I said in the past, I don't really give a flying fuck. Okay? The bottom line is this, is that I didn't like the previous era. I'm not going to change my opinion on the previous era, and everything that I said, I don't regret one goddamn thing, and I never will regret anything that I said. The bottom line is they were my thoughts and my opinions and my feelings at the time. And if anybody has an issue with that, well, then I suggest that you go and seek the help that you need to get over it, because it's not my problem and it's not my issue anymore. Okay? I am sick and tired of weak-minded individuals coming in here having a go at me because they didn't like comments that I posted or I said in the past. Get over yourselves and grow the fuck up. All right? Grow up. It's time to grow up, all right? There's a lot of shit going on in the world, right? More important shit going on in the world than having a go at someone because they didn't like a TV show that he's grown. Listen, I've grown up with this show since I'm a kid, 3 years of age, right? I'm in my fucking 40s now. I have every right to have the opinions that I had and to be as angry and upset as I was back then. And if you have an issue with it, I don't care, all right? Anyway, thank you. Matt said, yeah, about the mod ship, so I'll do that now, mate. There we go. Add as moderator. There you go. You're done. I can keep an eye on Matt. Yeah, absolutely no, says Garbage. But Matt, Garbage already letting the power get to his head before he even gets it. He's going to be keeping an eye out there. I love it. But no, you know what to do. From now on, listen, from now on, right, just don't engage with any of these trolls in the chat, because when you bring it up in the chat and you start engaging with them, then I have to say something because they step out of line. Just don't engage with them from now on. Just remove them straight away. You know who they are. You know who's sending them here as well, right? You all know. We know who it is, right? So we just nip it in the bud straight away so we could be here and we could talk about Doctor Who or bash Doctor Who or whatever it is we're doing at the time, you know, because unfortunately the showrunner is a bit of a dope. Won't listen to fans. If RTD just listened to fans, right, he would have the biggest show on the planet right now. He would. He would. I would actually say if there's any fans out there that have money, right, you should put RTD to shame and do one of those fan projects. Do a Doctor Who short movie or something and show fans the way Doctor Who should be. Do you know the way they did it in the Star Trek universe? They did it in the Star Wars universe. Fans made a show of the two franchises that they even tried to take them to court to stop them from fucking doing what they were doing because they were doing it better. Fans is the way forward, man, for this show. The future is fans for the way forward for this show. And I don't mean being in control because, look, I've come to the conclusion that RTD, Chris Chibnall have never been fans of Doctor Who. And I know that's a pretty bold statement to make considering where Chris Chibnall was back in the 80s and what kind of thing he was involved in. But I honestly don't believe that these men were fans and they only got into this to bash it, to be quite honest with you. No fan writes what RTD has written. No fan would upset fans like the way RTD has. If he truly cares for this show, he wouldn't have made the changes that he made. If Chris Chibnall loved it as well, he wouldn't have made the change that he made because he knows it goes against everything that us fans don't want. So why do they continue to do it? And I've come to the conclusion that those two men in particular are not fans. I would say that Moffat is more of a fan than those two. And I would even go as far as to say that I think Moffat understood the show far better than RTD and Chris Chibnall. And I know Stephen Moffat didn't get it right all the time. And I was one of his critics back in the day. But I've been, as you know, I've watched his era now a few times over the years, and I can safely say that man did know what he was doing. What he got out on was he tried to be over elaborate sometimes, and he did let his ego get to him because it was being massaged by Steven Spielberg and others out there. But other than that, That man understood this show far better than those two put together. And I'm telling you, if the wrong person came back, it should have been Stephen Moffat, not RTD. I'm saying it now, right? Even though it probably wouldn't have been perfect with Moffat either. But out of those two, out of those three, I would say I would have took Stephen Moffat over fucking RTD. And remember, the Stephen Moffat episode in the RTD era this time round was probably the better episode of the whole fucking show.
Yeah, Boom. Boom was my favorite. I really genuinely liked Boom. That was the closest. I genuinely felt like I was like back in the. Well, I don't know. It felt very Moffat. Even just watching it, I felt
Queen
like
Charlotte is in the chat.
Hello.
Hail
Yeah,
Queen
but yeah,
Charlotte.
it feels like a very 12th Doctor script or a very 11th Doctor. I could see those two doctors being in it. I don't know. There's just something about that story that I just really resonated and I really liked it. Now maybe
Look, it wasn't his best Moffat story. Look, it wasn't the best Moffat story. He's probably written better. But for his first episode back, I thought it was okay. And it wasn't, and in fairness, the woke level in that episode was minimum. And I think that's why we kind of did like it.
Even the story. Okay, was it the most deep, multi-layered plot? Well, no, he was just stood there for an hour. I get that criticism because he was just stood there. Well, I say an hour, it was 40
Yeah, it would have been nice to see a little bit more going on around them, but
it was. I thought it might not have been the best plot, but I thought it was the best episode because it's a bit similar to, again, a lot of people might say about Deadpool. Is it Deadpool 3? Is it got the best story? No, it's not it's not a Stephen King novel. It doesn't have to be have the most deepest plot. But is it a good film? Is it a good time? Can you at least enjoy what it is for what it is? And I got that feeling from Boom. The rest, though, well, again, the first sort of chunk of the season I thought was better than the second half. Strange like Space Babies. That's gone on record. I know, shocking. What was it? Devil's Card. I got that. Slightly less so. But Jinx Monsoon. Even just thinking about it, she's just instantly.
Yeah, look, I get the criticism for Boom. There's a few people that are criticizing Boom, President Lemon, and a couple of others in there. Look, I get you our criticisms, and I actually do agree. But we're looking at this from a character development point of view, and story-wise, the start. Listen, unfortunately, yes, Stephen Moffat came in and written an episode, but you've got to remember that RTD is the showrunner, and he would have, while Stephen Moffat was writing his script, would have incorporated some of his nonsense into it. So look at Moffat is a pretty straight shooter. Moffat actually was criticised by the feminists. Do you remember when they start adding all of this shit into his era? The BBC were forcing him to add certain stuff in. Well, Moffat was opposing that, like, publicly. He had feminists and all come after him, right? Because he started giving out about the fact that Amy was in a short skirt and all of this, and he was sexualizing Amy. They tried to get him on that and all of that, and he fought back against that. Listen, everybody knows what Stephen Moffat's views are on Doctor Who. There's that famous clip with Mark Gatiss, right? His views haven't changed. Doctor Who is not for left wing, right wing, blah, blah, blah. He points it all out. Doctor Who is for everybody. Now, I don't agree with that statement to a certain extent anymore. I used to. But that's what he believes. He believes Doctor Who's for everybody. So he tries to do a version of the show that's going to actually, compel to everybody, that everybody is going to enjoy. And that's what he tried to do with his era. The RTD is not doing that now. He's chasing an audience. He told you they're going for a younger audience. They're going for the trendy audience, the TikTok audience. That's the audience they're going for. But Doctor Who was never designed for that audience, if you get what I'm saying.
That's the distinction. Doctor Who is for everyone to like. So it's if you want to, anyone in the world, if you want to like Doctor Who, it's there for everyone to like, but it's not for everyone. It's not designed for everyone because it is a science fiction.
Exactly, that's what you meant. Yeah.
Just sort of space. It is majority of the fan base. There's always young geeky sort of young men, there were women, of course. There was always women fans, but maybe there was families as well. It was a family show as well, a lot, mainly. Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who. That's the big three, isn't it? Really. And it was always for that kind of geeky, nerdy audience. But it's now it's trying to be everything to everybody. And again, that's what bothers me, because they keep changing and saying things like, "Oh well, family." What was it, Russell? What was I don't know the exact quote, but Russell was effectively saying, "Oh well, people around the dinner table don't know the Zog monsters from the planet Zog, but they'll relate to Ruby being an adopted." Well, okay, yeah, if it's an ITV drama or EastEnders, Phil Mitchell's got a new adopted son that he never knew about, or stupid like
That's
that.
the thing. Doctor Who's far more sophisticated than that. See, this is the thing that, unfortunately, the new era of Doctor Who has done. Doctor Who has become more of a drama, more of a kind of a soap opera, rather than a sci-fi show that has some of those elements in it. It's being taken over by the soapy stuff and the drama stuff.
I mean,
You know what I mean? And
like he says there, show shouldn't be designed for anyone, and that's right. What made it what it was is that Doctor Who was its own thing, and it naturally attracted the fans.
exactly, geeks like us.
And again, I say it all the time, don't I? I think the last time I was on here, we had a conversation about it, and I was saying something about the video game industry. This isn't just Doctor Who. This is all across the board. This is everything you like, from video games to books, probably even, to literally everything that you hold close to your heart, anything that you love. They'll take what makes it unique and special, like they did with COD Zombies, and then they'll try and change it and mess around with it and make it more accessible. And but more people can get into it. Well, what was stopping them from getting into it before?
Yeah, but dilutes it. Zombies is not the same. It's a great example that you've brought up. I mean, Call of Duty, it's the gaming world, but that is the perfect example, because I remember when Zombies first came out, it was unique niche, right? But as you said yourself, it only appealed to a certain few people. Most people preferred playing multiplayer online, not zombies, but playing the normal multiplayer. But there was a core of us that only bought the game then for the zombie maps and all of that. And you're right, as soon as they made it accessible, they tried to then they changed the gobble gums, and then they changed the way it was just to appeal to the mass. And look what's happened now. The Zombies franchise, which was a unique, cool part of the main franchise, is now everybody is just like, nah, leave it out now. We don't want more zombies now. You just fuck around it, like, forget about it.
I mentioned it because it's ironically enough that Black Ops 6 releases tomorrow, but it's just the whole thing, the whole cycle of this pattern is just ridiculous, because it never works.
Yeah,
because no one wins. Everyone's pissed off because you've changed it, to appeal to a bigger audience. Well, but then you've changed it, so the core audience that was there anyway are unhappy because too much of it has changed.
And follow the story, because remember, there's a story to Zombies. People don't actually understand that there's a whole story, and then they fucked up. They did, because remember then, because they did the story to a certain extent. The story was supposed to end, but because Zombies was so fucking popular, then they start doing this multiverse shit with it. Do you remember the multi? So you ended up on Titanic. You ended up fucking in ancient Rome or wherever it fucking was. Like, it was stupid. You know what? I bought Black Ops 4, right? For Christmas. Cheryl got, when it came out, she got me that, and she got me Grand Theft Auto, the latest one, the one that's still out now, right? And I remember Christmas morning, I uploaded the Black Ops game, and I put the Zombies on. And for the first time in my life, within a half an hour, I knocked the game off and I re-uploaded Red Dead Redemption 2, because I'd gotten Red Dead Redemption 2 again. And I re-uploaded that and I played Red Dead Redemption. They ruined Zombies. Now, I love the Titanic, by the way. You all know that, right? They have a map on the Titanic with zombies. Like, it's a wet dream for me. But I knocked it off after half an hour, It was that bad. The whole mechanics different. The guns easier to kill the zombies. It was. They can hit you around 4 or 5 times and you're still all right. They just made the game slightly easier. And
And
you
this,
know when we and I know you can change the level to hardcore and all that, but you know what I loved about it? When you played, it didn't matter what level you were. You played at the level that the game played at. So if it was hardcore, it was hardcore. You couldn't fucking change it to make it easier. But they start making it easier, and I was like, that is shit. Because if you were, say, you know how it goes, you know, when you're in a lobby, right? If the person that is running that lobby has the game on easy mode, you all have to play it on easy mode. It's like it's fucking it makes no sense, man. Fucking hate the
it's
gaming
just the way they
industry
do
now.
it. They changed the whole layout. They changed the whole sort of the magic of it. They've made it. They look at the new fonts. Like the zombies have health bars, and it looks like the same sort of screen like
Oh, health
Warzone does. It's
bars
got the
on
button.
zombies. Get away. Health bars on
So
zombies. Are you so
thankfully, they're
fucking
giving you an option now where you can customize it and change it how you want. But it's just again, they're not even just that. It's all things, everything across the
yeah.
board. Doctor Who
I still
games.
have Black Ops
What
3.
they do is
I have most of the zombie maps. I've got all of the zombie packs. I've got Moon. I've got all the old maps. Right? I've got all the old maps. The only one that I don't have is Buried, and the Alcatraz one I don't have either because you can't get them in the map pack for PlayStation 4. It's fucking shit it is. But I have most of the other ones, and I have all the old school ones. I even have the very first zombie map as well, right? And that's what I'll sit there playing for hours, like those old maps. Those old maps you cannot beat, and that's why people keep going back to them, right? The old maps are more popular, right? I
they've got like
thought when I re-uploaded that game again, right, and I went into the lobby, nobody would be playing because like some of the maps are like 10 years old and stuff, and there was loads of people in the lobby, like people still playing that zombies, man. That zombies, or rather than play the new zombies, that zombies, and I loved it. There was even a zombie version of do you remember Nuketown? They did it was a
yeah,
one-off
yeah.
map in one of the
I've
games.
played
They
them
did a
all.
zombie version of Nuketown. I loved it, man. I
But
loved
it's
it
like
because
even there, that President Lemons just pointed out, Nacta and Taunton, that was like a bare bones slapped together first map they ever did. They ripped it straight out of the campaign and sort of like dressed it up, made it a bit more like horror themed. They took like character models or something from the campaign. They just like because again they had no budget because it was a stupid little game mode that the developers came up very quickly with. It had no allocated budget because it was never supposed to be a thing. It was just something they mocked up and like showed it to a supervisor or a manager or something like that, and they thought, "Oh, actually, that's fantastic. Let's put
that's
some
my
stuff in."
favorite
So
map.
again, they sort of had to use a bit of free time. They slapped it together effectively, and that's got far more charm, personality, uh, uniqueness than a lot of what happened in what was it? Some of the recent Call of Duty zombies games. Again, it's not really had a proper zombies mod since Cold War.
No,
Because
no,
Vanguard
no.
was just terrible, and it wasn't even round based for halfway through it until they reverted back, and even then they just put an old map back on.
I love Kino as
Modern
well.
Warfare 3
Kino,
Zombies is just Warzone, but with zombies in it. But it's like what I was saying. They've changed so much of it, and in Doctor Who and everything else, they'll change. You'll have something, and like everybody will love it because it's so unique and it's its own thing. But then they'll go, "Oh well, we've got an audience, but we want more audience, so we're going to change and basically dumb down the product and make it more accessible to people." But then the question is, well, what was the barrier? What was stopping these people from liking it or enjoying it before? Why are they only now enjoying it? Clearly, they don't care about it that much. Otherwise, they would have been a fan of it anyway. So then, like, nobody's
yeah,
happy, like I said, because the people who were there originally, the core fan base aren't happy because too much of it has changed, and you've changed and butchered and chopped the product to appeal to people who don't really care anyway because it was never for them. Like the new Liberty Falls map, they've changed it for the multiplayer or for the casuals or for the new zombies players.
yeah.
Well, just play zombies. What do you mean new zombies players? Just go back and try old maps. It's not that difficult. And the
It's
multiplayer, and it's not for multiplayer players. It's for zombies players. There'll be people who only play multiplayer, Well, and with the new options, thankfully, you can uninstall which game mode you do and don't play.
Yeah,
So, again, the zombies players are getting, the core players like myself are getting impacted because we're not quite getting the same experience as we used to, because too much of it has been changed and dumbed down for an audience to cater to new people it was never for anyway. And that's what Doctor Who became as well. Did they change that and made it a little bit more accessible and preached about space for all and space for everyone and these cringy taglines and friendship is universal. And it's all about being relatable. It's all about being. It's all about relatability now. Everyone has to relate to Ruby Sunday because she's. We can't tell a complex science fiction story about who her mother is because that's just too spacey and too science fiction. That's literally pretty much what Russell said. That's too Doctor Who-y. We can't have that, so we have to make it relatable. We have to make it like EastEnders. You have to make Ruby's mother just a mother, no one really special. She's just adopted, and that's relatable to people, and people will resonate with that. Well, okay, that's all well and good, but where's the story? It's Doctor Who. We want to be able to be entertained. We don't really want to relate to Doctor Who. There might be relatable moments in it where you think, oh, that's a bit like, I'm a bit like that, but I want a bloody story here. I'm investing our time watching the season just for you to sort of give us nothing. Ruby's mother and a magical finger. All the weird plot holes that they joked about. Queen Charlotte mentioned that about them just joking about how it snows and no, that's not a joke. That's a real question. Why is it bloody snowing then? And if nobody's got no powers, was it Sutek? Was just a mystery around it. That's kind of what they were going, but that's just terrible. But that's what they did. They're changing the story and changing the Doctor Who-ness and the quirkiness of it to be relatable. And we're going to be like Stranger Things. That's what Doctor Who is now. It's we're on Disney. We want to be like Stranger Things. We want to be like all these other shows. That's not good. Since when does Doctor Who need to be like other shows? Where's the ambition? That just sounds crap. Back again, like I've always said, Doctor Who back in 2005. It came back with a bang because it wanted Doctor Who, and that was Russell's goal back then. Was and the team and everyone in general, they brought the Doctor Who back to be relevant, contemporary, and modern for what was then modern. 2005. Doctor Who wasn't just this old relic of a show from a bygone era. No, it could still exist in today's world. Again, today is in 2005, and it did that, and it came back with a bang, and it was absolutely successful. Whereas now. Even just before that, look at 2008, all the spin-offs it had, and it was in a fantastic place back then. Okay, some fans might have played classic still. That's okay, but it's still objectively the show was very successful. And of course, after and then you look at it now. Okay, yes, I'm still getting some enjoyment from it. Again, I did strangely like a lot of season one. I thought Ncuti was a decent Doctor. I am enjoying it. There's a lot I'm not enjoying, obviously, of course. But it's like you look at it now, and it has nowhere near the same pull. No one's talking about it really. The mainstream audience, we're talking about it. People on Twitter are talking about it because we're already involved. Ask the common man on the street and said, "Oh, do you know who the new Doctor is?" And I don't know. Not really. I haven't watched it since Tennant. I haven't watched it since Matt Smith. I haven't watched it in years. Doctor Who. People forget that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like changed it. It's all about trying to be relatable now. Doctor Who has to be relatable. You'd have to tell stories that resonate with people because apparently having too much science fiction will just go over people's heads. Well, maybe it's not for you then. If watching Lord of the Rings is a little bit too medieval for you, but it's not. It's too far away. Well, then don't watch it. If it's too long ago and too complicated, what are these elk? Or what are these elf people doing? No, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's the same reason why I don't watch the Kardashians. I can't stand a lot of them. So why would I watch it and put myself through that? If you don't enjoy something, don't watch it. Doctor Who's not for you, then it's not for you. Like we've just sort of established. Doctor Who is available for everyone to like. It's for everyone in terms of it's there to be liked by everyone if you want to. It's an option. But it's not for everyone in terms of it's not going to appeal to everyone because not everyone's going to like the same thing. Some people don't like science fiction, so Doctor Who just isn't for you. It's just that simple. It's not for you. It's not for you.
That's it. Right, we're gonna have to leave it there, folks, because I've got another stream. Because as a the hate speech legislation was passed in the Dáil last night. So obviously everything has changed in this country now. People can literally go to prison for 30 words. So we have a big one on that. There's going to be a lot of reaction to that. So I have to wrap up there because it's literally the stream is ready to go and all. So I'll leave it there. So what I'll do is I'll get Cinnamon to do his channel shout out. If there's anybody in the chat also wants to drop their channel or drop a channel, you're more than welcome to do so now if you want to do that. So I'll be back here again. I'm hoping to do a couple of more streams over the weekend because obviously we haven't been around as much as I want to be. It's just things have gotten crazy over here and I shouldn't actually be really making plans anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stream as much as I can when I can and just let you know. But we will be back on the Tuesday and Wednesday stream. It's just things where she's only had to come back as well, obviously from the States. So we're only getting back into the rhythm and I've had a lot of stuff on as well. So Garbage there. Thanks for the moderator gift. No problem, Garbage. Sure, you're with me a long time. I'm surprised I didn't give you a modship ages ago, to be quite honest with you. So I'm glad it's done now. So yeah, I will be back here and we're still going to do our Peter Capaldi watch along. I do intend to do those streams late at night, you know, where I watch now Peter Capaldi episode. We obviously did the first episode of season 8. So we'll be doing the second episode soon enough. So just look out for that. And Type 40 is live with the usual suspects at 8 o'clock. So go and check that out while you can. Obviously, because we probably won't be all around in 2025. So you know what I mean. Yeah, I'll probably be in Mountjoy. You'll probably get streams live from prison. So like, I hope you will be looking forward to the Null Zone or the Tardis Zone talks behind bars. Exclusive for Mountjoy prison. Anyway, I'll hand you over to Cinnamon, who's going to do shout outs, and then we're going to head off and I'm going to get ready for my next stream. Have a good one, folks. Go ahead, Cinnamon.
Well, yeah. Again, before I came on today, I was actually doing my Red Dead playthrough. I've been doing for a while now. Just about a little over a month. So part 15 is up. If anyone wants to sort of check that out, we're getting close to the ending. I won't spoil it, obviously, but yeah, that's going good. I've got a capture card as well now because, streaming, I'm literally streaming the game, then it automatically sort of goes up so you can watch it as a video later. But there's always a risk with that because, what the stream cuts off like it has done. So a capture card makes it easier. It's a shame my computer isn't strong enough to do the best settings on it. Should have checked that before. But yeah, teething issues, but I'm getting there. So if that's gaming videos is your thing and you want to experience a very good story or a very good game, then Red Dead Redemption 1 is over on my channel, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Fantastic. And don't forget to check out Scottish Dad Wrestling Friends, Wrestle with Pop Culture, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Gobster talks about things, and there's a couple of other people who shouted out channels in the chat as well. Now I'm going to leave it there now because I'm literally off here now and straight on into my studio for me next fucking stream. It's all go, but look at this is what I signed up for when I decided to get involved in Irish politics. I'm going to be very busy now over the next 5 years because I will be running in the next general election. Maybe go local first, see what happens there, see how I do, and if I do well enough but don't get in, then I'm going to run for the general election anyway. So you could be looking at a future politician on this channel, which will be kind of unique. I think, having a politician on talking about Doctor Who. I might be able to talk about Doctor Who as much as I want to, though, if I do become a politician, of course. But it's something that I'm aiming to do because, people have to start putting their names forward now, and the political route is the only way that we're going to get things done because, nobody wants the other route which always leads to people being hurt, and we don't want that. But you know, you never know what comes down the line in the future. But anyway, if anything does develop with that, I'll let you know. I'll keep you in the loop anyway. You know what I mean? It's not as if I won't keep you in the fucking loop. I'll keep you in the loop. But yeah, I've just been very busy. But I will try get some more streams out for you. And in fairness, though, you know, it's not actually helping that the show's completely dead, because there's nothing really coming out that's new. And this is the thing. I remember even during the Stephen Moffat era, even the Chibnall era when it started, there was a lot of news, right? It was continuous for months into the year. Do you know what I mean? It was all the time. But with this, the news is like there's no news. Like it's just trickles here, there. But then it's like media outlets, you know, regurgitating the same fucking articles over and over again. So until there's actually proper news, you know what I mean? I'm kind of struggling to come on here. So luckily we had the Baptist to talk about, but if that didn't happen, what were we actually going to talk about this week? Because there's nothing actually even worth talking about in Doctor Who. That's the thing. We're going nothing. So this show apparently is supposed to be so popular, yeah, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's reporting on it. It's just dead. Anyway, with that, I'll just leave it there anyway. Thank you, Cinnamon, for joining me, because I'm just going to fly straight off because I have to go into the other studio. I know we'd normally stay and have a bit of a chat, but I'm just going to tell you beforehand I'll be gone straight away because I have to pop in. But I will talk to you, obviously, next week for our streams. Hopefully everything is back to normal next week. So I'll see you Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll see PD Rich as well. Hopefully, and PD is just being a bit busy, and obviously Charlotte had a bit of a chat with me. She sent me a message, all sorted. You know, Charlotte will be back to the channel, but for now, Charlotte will be taking a bit of a break, but it's not for good. So that was basically the air was cleared. I because me is no me. I get very emotional and stuff like that, and may have seen things the wrong way or thought that like she wasn't coming back, but it's been explained to me now, so it's all good. Charlotte will be back at some stage in the future, but for now it'll be myself and Cinnamon, and maybe while we're waiting for Charlotte to come back, we'll bring on some special guests. You know, it'll give us the opportunity now to maybe bring on a special guest each week. So if there's anybody you would like us to bring on, just throw out some suggestions and let us know, and we see if we can get those people on, if they even want to come on and stream with me. Though that's the thing though, you know, it's all these people say throwing out names, but if it depends if these people want to stream with me. So if there is any suggestions, let us know anyway. Yeah, anyway, have a good one, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night. And I'll talk to you for the next one. Bye bye.
See you soon.